Hello everybody, Jessica here. Welcome back to my channel. I am here to do a tag for Summerween Craft Along, a 13-day challenge hosted by Bella Boo Creations and Crafty by Tony. And we are up to, or I am up to day 10, Transparent Ghostly Whispers. And I'm having some lighting issues because my main ring light, the part that attaches, broke. So we're just gonna kind of go with it here. I have two smaller ring lights. I'm gonna try and do my best not to have the little rings reflections be too distracting. But that's where I am. Okay, so I have done some prep, but I didn't write the story on the back yet. I'll have to do that later. But the general idea is that Cora has gone to bed and she is woken up at her bedside by a ghostly apparition. And it's the middle of the night, so the moon is shining through the window. So what I've done is I have created a little circuit here with a little LED. So this is individual LEDs, and they're not super hard to light. You get these little button batteries, and the button batteries have a positive side. It has a little plus there. Can you see that? A little plus. And the other side is minus, and the LEDs have a plus and a minus side. So you see they have a long leg and a short leg, and if you put it the right way around, it lights up. And if you put it the wrong way around, it doesn't light up. So then what you can do, and they come in different colors and different sizes. This is a pack that comes in these colors, and this row is the big size, and then this row is the little size. And you can also you can just get this stuff on Amazon. And these are the button batteries. They're like the watch battery, CR2032. And the other thing you get is this copper tape. And the copper tape has sticky tape on one side, and the top side, this is the conductive side. The bottom side is not conductive, only the top side is. So then you create yourself a little circuit. So I laid it down and I put the battery on top of, so this copper tape extends underneath it. And then when you go this way, you have to turn it over so that the part that's touching the leg here is touching the conductive side. Same here. Here, the other side is touching the conductive side. And then so that when you complete the circuit there, it lights up like so. So, I just want to not have it lighting up the whole time that I'm working on it until the end. So I'm just going to take a piece of tape and tape this down with the little cardboard in between, so it won't complete the circuit while we're working. And I have a frame that's a little bit big. I'm going to have to trim it down, I think, along the edges in order for it to fit in the box, but we'll worry about that later. And I also want to lift it up so that it looks like there's a space behind the window, and I want this to be in the corner. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some aluminum foil behind so that all the light is reflected forward. And I also think I'm going to cover the window in wax paper so it's muted because it's nighttime, like so. But I also don't want to see all the mechanics in the back. So what I have is I just have a piece of plain copy paper, thin, plain copy paper. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to distress this plain copy paper. Hold on. Okay, so let me put some of this stuff to the side so that I can clear off my workspace. Copper tape can go here. Masking tape can go to the side. And okay, so let's do the background first. So I think what I'm gonna do is mush rather than spray, because I like that. So I would really like some frayed burlap. Do I have frayed burlap out? Of course, it's at the bottom. So I have some frayed burlap and maybe some vintage photo and some black soot for kind of a range of colors. So I'm going to start with the frayed burlap and I'm going to mush. Oh, I meant to fill up my water, but it's okay. I've got enough. Okay, so there's that, and I'm just going to dip and smoosh around like so. I want to make sure I have enough to cover the tag. Maybe a little bit more down the bottom because I don't want to wind up with not enough. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see. Today is Sunday. Yesterday, my best friend and I took a little drive up to see my mother-in-law. Instead of vintage photo, I think I'm going to do a little bit of ground espresso. Just a little bit. And we took her out for dinner and we had a lovely time visiting with her. And we picked up her son and dropped him off at work and then picked him up at the end when he was done with work. He works at PetSmart. Worked out beautifully. And then, black soot this morning. Kind of had a slow morning, but then my husband and I went to the Y and we had a lovely swim. And it was so fun because when I was a teenager back in the 80s, there we go. That looks pretty good and dark and ominous. A dark and stormy night. Okay. Let me grab a wet wipe. So my favorite music artist was John Denver. Still is. I still love John Denver. And they were playing John Denver at the pool. It was so delightful. And it was a young person. It was like this young lady who was the lifeguard who had selected the music. And it was so funny to think that this younger person was into John Denver. It was so fun. Every time I came back to the wall, I had to stop and listen and sing along a little. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a second so I can dry this. Okay, so here we are. I just cut out the tag shape and put it over here. Now, when I press the circuit, it's okay. Like you can see it. It looks a little green. I'm thinking I want to put some beeswax over this edge so that I can make it a little more translucent. I don't want to do the whole thing in beeswax because I want the rest of it to actually cover up the mechanics of the workings of the circuit. But I want the moon to shine through. So I'm just going to add a couple of pellets of this white beeswax. It says natural, earth-friendly, healthy lifestyle products, the way we all live. And it's beesworks.com. And I'm pretty sure I got this off Amazon. Like everything else, as you do. Oh, I don't feel the the zipper zipping. That could be tragic if it doesn't zip. All right, I'm going to stick it over here in a safe spot. I probably should get another container for it. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. It's not too loud, and I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to stop the video, but so that you can see. See me do this. Okay, so I want to make sure I get it up here in the corner. It melts really quite quickly and then cools as quickly as well. And you can push it around a little bit. Even though this heat tool isn't particularly strong, it does push around a bit. And I'm gonna let it flow a bit. Let's let that cool off. It should cool off pretty quickly. I don't want to let it go too far down into the page because like I say, I want it to, see? Now that looks more moony, doesn't it? It even looks like there's a little bit of a cloud in front of the moon. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna put the guard down again. Okay, it's a little thick. I wonder if I can scrape, where's my metal tool? Scrape a little bit of this excess off. So it's not thick. Yep, that worked. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this on there so that we don't see the workings of the thing. I thought I was gonna I cut the hole in it thinking that I was gonna recess it, but I didn't need to cut a hole. I'm just not gonna change it now, but I'm gonna glue this down, and I'm gonna use this Alien's tacky glue because it's a little bit thicker, and I've got, lots of different substrates here for it to stick to. Like so. And maybe I will give it a little bit of a smoosh around. I got a new silicone smooshing brush that I'm excited to try. I had the ones that had a funny shape. I like the shape of this better. Okay, right to the edge. And place our cover paper down right to the edge there. Yay. Hopefully it sticks to the wax and to the tape and to the tag. Okay. All right, shall we test it again? Oh dear, maybe I should stop doing this tapey bit. Yeah. Here, let me turn this little light off for a sec. Oops, that's not the right one. Ooh, I like it. All right, now let's put the, I have a little bit of aluminum foil. Should I put the aluminum foil on the back so do you think it changes it? Hold on. Where's my, ooh. Okay, so that's with the aluminum foil, and that's without. With. I like it with. Okay. So I'm going to put the shiny side. Oh, the shiny side on like that. Now aluminum foil is conductive. I wonder if I should cover this. What did I do with my tape? I think I should cover my circuit up so that I'm not conducting through the aluminum foil. And maybe losing some of the oomph. And I don't know if I'm making that up, but it sounds reasonable to me. I have done these circuit boards with students before, and they really enjoy them. And you can use aluminum foil. If you don't want to buy the copper tape, you can use aluminum foil as your conductor. It doesn't conduct as well, but you absolutely can do it. And it will certainly be cheaper if you're purchasing the supplies yourself. Although I don't think the copper tape is that expensive on Amazon. There's something called chibi circuits, C-H-I-B-I, chibi circuits. And they can come in little kits too, that are fun to play with. Okay, I'm gonna pull that back a smidge so I get the full light bulb. And then I'm going to tape this down like so. And here. And then, oh, I think that worked better. Now it really looks like the moon. Woohoo! So excited. Okay, cool. Working out. I love it when things work out the way they're supposed to. I'm gonna take this off. So I curled up a little piece of that cardstock right here so that it's not always touching, and so that you actually do have to press down in order to get the circuit to complete. I think what I'll do in when I have it in the box, I'll probably use this in between to make sure that it's not on just in the box. Okay, let's look at our frame. Ooh, oh, that frame might work for the bed as opposed to this big one. Originally, I thought this one was going to be too small, and I was going to use the big one, but maybe the smaller one does look better. These frames are out of a 49 in Market kit. But I want to have enough room so that I have a ghostly figure in front of the, like, in the corner here. And I was also thinking of raising this up. I was originally thinking of putting these spacers here. To raise it up a little bit, and then putting this wax paper as the pane of glass. Does that diffuse it more? Yeah, I think that's good, because then I can paint my ghostly figure on the wax paper. Okay. Because the idea is that her grandmother, I'm going to cut this down a little bit, make these a little bit more narrow. Her grandmother is, the spirit of her grandmother is going to visit her in her sleep, in her bedroom. Not a full-blown, like, apparition of a bodily ghost, just her spirit coming to advise her. Ask her to be patient and to please help Zeb. This, okay, so think one side of this wax paper is okay, hold on. Hold on. I need to, they've got too much going on here with sloshing about. I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. And I've got some thin double-sided tape here, and I am going to just put it on the edge of this window frame or picture frame, whichever you want to call it. Works either way. So I had a really good swim. I did 3,000 yards. And I've been doing a lot of yoga, and I really think that the yoga is working to increase my strength, because I felt like I was cruising today. It felt really good. Where's my thing? Unfortunately, the chlorine always makes me a little sneezy, so I apologize if I'm a little sniffly. I really am sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. The chlorine does its number on me, but there's nothing I can do. I have to swim. It is my meditation. It is my happy place. It is my exercise. So it's really, really important to me. Can you see this? I turned off all the lights. What if I just turn this one back on here? We're gonna experiment with lighting, see what we can get away with. I think this feels more papery, so I'm gonna have that be the one that I paint on. Okie dokie. Okay, so then where did my tag go? Oh, it's right here. And I think I should, oh, you know what? I should double tape this to the edge of this where I want it. So I want this tag to be as high as I can so that it gets the moon. I want the moon just in the corner there. Maybe I don't need to lift it up at all. Maybe I can just get away with, I think that's fine. And if it's higher than the tag, that's absolutely okay, because it's really only the width that is an issue. And maybe I'll just let it stick up out of the box too, because I kind of like the way this looks. Okay, so now the other thing I have is I have this iridescent medium. This is Artist Loft, which is like the store brand for Michaels. Super cheap, but it is iridescent, like gesso-y medium. So I need a paintbrush. I think I'm going to use a small paintbrush. And I want to have like the outline, just like the basic outline of a person, but not necessarily recognizable as a person. Okay, let me move this stuff over. Maybe I will put a little bit on the board here. It's super chunk. And I'm just going to mix a little bit together so I get like this iridescent paint. Okay, so then she is going to just be kind of the suggestion of a figure in the window. Okay. And it should dry clear with just like the shimmer. Okay. All right. Let me put that back on properly. Put it away. That giant jar is going to last me forever. You can also mix it with other paints to make them, like it's a medium that you can mix with other acrylic paints to make other acrylic paints shiny. So if you like, you want to make fish scales, you could mix it with like green or silver or blue to make fish scales or mermaid scales. That's what I have used it in the past. Okay, so I'm not gonna, I know it's wasteful. Look away if that bothers you. I'm sorry. All right. So now I need to maybe make some drapes, and I need some bedding. I don't know what to put down here. I had a table left over. I also had, I don't know what I did with that leftover table from yesterday's work. That would have been a good thing. Did I use the table? I don't think I used the table. What did I do with the table? Where is my little bowl? Oh, here's the table. No, that's way too small. Yeah, that's too small. All right. Maybe some lace. Maybe I just use the legs of the table and make it seem like there is a table that's covered by a larger table leg underneath the thing. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. But I did get some gauzy curtainy stuff. Do you think I should put, because the curtain is, it's got to have some kind of gauzy curtain. I mean, even if it's like just pulled to one side so that it's billowing, and that could come all the way to the floor. That might work. Okay, so let me cut. I wonder if this tears. Does this tear? Yes, it does. Oh, even better if it's a little, no, that bit was, oh, that could, I can use that as a tie back. A self fabric tie back. So let me do that. Let me tie this here. And then pull that up. And then, so then this, I think I want it this way. I think this will be like that. You know what? I think I need to let this dry. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop the video for a minute, let this dry before I start messing with it and mess it up because it gets smooshed by the fabric. So I'll be back. Okay, hello. So it is mostly dry. I added a piece of that paper lace underneath here and this little table and a stack of books just to give something to hold it down. And the battery is working so that we have the moon shining through. And this is, it's still a little tacky, but I think, whoops, it's dry enough to work with. Because the last thing I need to do is I'd like to glue, because I don't think my sewing machine will sew through all of this. Is I'd like to just glue this down and see if I can glue it without ruining and having it stick to that. So the curtains will be pulled aside to reveal both the moon and the figure. And the wind maybe is blowing through the cracked window or something. Okay, So I think I need some Fabri-Tac. Oh, I need to open a new Fabri-Tac, although it's not, it's still got like a quarter of a bottle in there. And I would really like to not waste it because stuff is expensive. I think I have a new unopened one in my adhesives drawer. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze you out. There we go. Okie dokie, that goes back there. And I wonder if I should maybe protect. I'm afraid of putting anything over her at the moment. All right, I'm just going to be super careful. Do we think I can do that? We shall see. So I'm going to squish the leading edge of the fabric down. You know what I should have is I should have like a knob, a tie back knob right there. Ooh, I like it when it goes over the edge there. Maybe I can punch. I just had those. What did I do with them? I had them out yesterday. Oh yeah, I have these knobs. They're like like the hitch posts, like the Tim Holtz hitch posts. But I don't think I have any more of the actual Tim Holtz hitch posts. It looks more like a doorknob than a... Hold on, I think I do have hitch posts. Hold that thought. I'm gonna leave these out for now, but I'm pretty sure in my hardware bins over here, excuse me while I grab and reach. Not in that one. Oh yeah, in this one. Uh-oh, almost had a craft to lunch. In this, I have some hitch posts. Oh, and I even have some like not shiny ones. I have shiny ones, but I don't think this is a shiny kind of a room, other than the moon, that is. I have, okay, that's the backing. And then here is the posty thing. Yes, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Like a tie back knob for the curtain. So, oh, look what I found. This is from a project I did a really long time ago. You know how I was talking about Doctor Who? I have tiny little TARDISes. Forgot I had those. Okay. It's a project I did for a friend a long time ago. Okay. So let's mark where we kind of want that to be. That's not a pencil. This is a pencil. I want it right there. So then I need my crop-o-dial, which is right here. And I'm going to put a hole just like so. And then this goes in the bottom, and then this actually screws into the top. That would make a good doorknob too, if you ever needed to make a doorknob. And then I can tie, when I tie this in a bow, I'll just wrap this around here and tie the bow around the post so that it doesn't interfere with Our Lady of the evening. well, that's not a nice thing to say, I suppose. Our apparition. Tie it around the hitch post. So it's anchored to the hitch post, and then I'll tie it around the curtain, and I'll tie a little bow. And there we have our moon shining through the window with our ghostly apparition whispering in the night to our protagonist. And I think I should cut off the bottom here. Save that, of course. And in the story, which I'll read out next time, I guess, because I haven't written it yet, but essentially the grandmother's spirit has come to visit her to ask her to please be patient and wait for Zeb to finish his morning and then to be there for him, to be his friend, because no one can bear the thought of him being lonely. So there's the moon shining with our little circuit and our ghostly apparition in the translucent window. Okay, so that is my tag for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please hit like, click the bell, hit subscribe, do all the things, and check out the other hashtags because everybody is making really fun stuff. It's hashtag summer craft along, Summerween craft along. So thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.